Okay, so hey, hi guys, hello and welcome back to my channel Elucidate. And onto this particular lecture, we are going to start the creation of Ansible architecture. So, in a very depth and in minute details, guys, we have already discussed what Ansible is was all about. What was the architecture of Ansible? I already discussed in a very detailed and a deep manner. Onto my lecture 26, I compared it with the a chef client, like in the there was a chef workstation server and the nodes that were getting connected. This was a pull based architecture because they were coming over here, pulled something, updated information. And this was a push based architecture, like with the help of a manager was giving instructions to their subordinates or to the colleagues, right? So I'm not going to discuss that particular thing. The main motto of our particular or this lecture is that that we are going to connect our server with the host machine, and that is it via SSH protocol. Okay, so what I'm going to do, again I'm reiterating. Okay guys, sorry for the disturbance caused. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to make our Ansible server connected to our host machine. So I'm going to create two EC2 instances. I've already created two EC2 instances. One is my Ansible server and one is my Ansible, oh sorry, one is the host machine on of this Ansible architecture, right? So guys, let's see what I do have for you. So there are three particular steps involved in creation of, if we want to you make connect your Ansible server to your host. There are three steps involved. They might seem a lot of work to you at this point of time, but believe me, it is very easy. If you just do it twice or thrice, everything would be on your fingertips, because Linux initially, it seems like a lot of steps, but finally it becomes quite easy for you to understand. So I do have created my two EC2 instances, guys, and I think I'm missing one of the files. Okay, back. Yeah, sorry guys, my system was getting hanged. I was clicking somewhere else and it was getting some issues. Okay, so there are three particular steps involved onto that, and onto these steps are very simple, and they are very easy to understand. What With the help of these steps, what you are going to achieve, you are going to connect your server to your host machine, and that is it. I'm not going to push any code from server to the host or to the client machine. I'm just going to make connect. So guys, the very first step is that we create a EC2 instance and we update it. We have done it n number of times in all my lectures, whether it be a Docker series or any other series. This is the basic step we do normally, right? And now we have to download this particular file, and once this file gets downloaded, we have to install it. And once you install it, there are some other things also that you need to install it. Let's say if I give you a Christmas gift, okay? So let's suppose it is a very big box of Christmas gift. So Christmas gift may not only contain you know uh, a bells kind of stuff or some chocolates. It may also contain some toffees as well. It may contain some apples as well. It may contain banana as well, or it may contain candy as well. So it also comes with a number of things, right? If somebody is giving you a particular gift, it's not that it will contain only one thing. It may contain different packages of different items. Similarly, uh, once you install it, you need to install these as well. Okay, so these are different packages, you need to install them. And once you install all these three things, there are some changes, you need to make onto your host file. You have to go to your server's host file, and you have to just simply specify the IP address of your host machine, and that is it. And then there's certain changes over here. So it's not a very theoretical like lecture. You just have to see, observe, and start doing the lecture part. There is nothing much, in order to make you guys understand onto a very depth level. So without wasting time, I'm quickly and very quickly I'll cover each and every so starting from the step one, I have already created two of my machines. So my very first machine has this particular IP 202 in green color, and the another machine has this pink sort of color. Okay, I hope you guys are able to see these two machines that I've already created. So green one is my server machine and pink one is my host machine. Please remember again, green is my server, pink is my host machine. Okay. Why is my host machine? The IP is 1149. Just remember 1149. So 1149 is my host machine. If you This is my host machine, I click it over here, 1149 is my host machine. Again, if I click it over here, 202 is my server machine. I've already named it over here, Ansible server. Okay, so 202 is my host machine. So I hope I have made myself clear till now. Okay, second step is we always update our machines, right? So just update your machines. First your server machine, yum update -y. Here also yum update -y. That is it. Now forget this particular machine as of now, your host machine. Now we have some work on to our Ansible server machine. Okay. So now you just need to copy this particular file, Control C, and what is the command with the help of you download a file? The command is wget. So it has downloaded this file onto my current working directory, that is home EC2 user. If I do ls, I can see this file got downloaded, right? I'll control L, I've cleared my screen. Again I'll do ls. See, this is over here, and now you need to install it. Yum install EPEL, extra packages for enterprise Linux. So this is what the meaning of EPEL. Okay, hit enter, allow it to get installed. Sorry, I'm not sudo. First, I'll elevate my privileges, then it would be better, right? So yum install, yes. So this package also got installed successfully, and now we need to install these extra packages, like I told you, right? And onto the Christmas box, some extra set of packages or toffees or candies or chocolates. Let's just install them. So it is getting installed one by one. Ansible is getting installed 2.9.25. So it got installed, right? So let's check Ansible got installed or not. Ansible hyphen VERSION. It will give me the version of the Ansible 2925 has got installed successfully, right? And these are the files on which we would be doing something later on. So guys, till now everything is clear, I hope. We updated it, we downloaded it, we installed these things, right? And now just go to this particular place. And why we are going onto this particular place, onto this file location, I'll let you know. Go to this particular location and we need to make some changes over here. So before I make the changes over here, first I'll make you understand what we are doing. So we went to this particular location and we are now providing the IP address of our host machine. It contains host IP address so that your server knows which hosts are connected to the server, right? I've already mentioned it over here so that your Ansible server is able to understand or distinguish which server is connected, you know, uh, which to your machine. Okay, so I will go over here and it says that ungrouped host is specified before any group headers. Let's say I say that this is my Ansible group, or this is my host group of host machines, right? And over here you just need to specify the private IP address of your host machine. Okay, so this is the private IP of your host machine. It has already been copied. Paste it over here and put dot over here because this is an IP. Oh, I messed. It's not allowing me to type. I think something got wrong. Again, I'll reopen it. Give it a meaningful name like group of host machine connected, and then just paste the private IP. What is the private IP of this machine? 172.31.1149. 172.31. I don't know, there was something wrong going on. It is not allowing me to type something, guys. Just be with me. I don't want to save it. Again, I'm reopening it over here. Go to this particular area. Group of host machines connected. 172.31.1149. Again, it did it with me. 31.11.49. I hope I have written the correct IP. 31.11.49. 172.31.11.49, right? So it is done. So control O and just save it. If you want to check, yes. So I have entered something. So I've pasted the private IP of my host machine. If there would have been my five different machine, I would have done the same things, right? Under this, so that I under this particular heading, you can give any meaningful heading, whatever you want. Okay. So this part has been done onto your host machine. Oh, sorry, on your Ansible server machine, because this is in green color. Okay. So I have cleared out my screen, and now you need to go to your ansible.configuration file, and we need to make some necessary changes over here itself. Just copy it, paste it, open this particular file. Okay. And now search it. Inventory. It is commented, simply uncommented, and there is one sudo user as well. Uncomment this as well. We have uncommented it because now this part will become active. So inventory will now be active. Just in order to understand what I'm trying to say, now inventory would be working in these things would be into active state, and now sudo user will now be active like a root user as well. Okay, so now I have uncommented it, and these two things are gonna work perfectly fine. Control O, control X. I'm using nano editor, guys. Okay, so don't get confused. So this was all about the step one. Okay, so step one has been done, very easy. Okay, and now we are going to do something on step two. So what we are going to do step two is that we are going to add one Ansible user kind of stuff, right? So we are going to add one user in server, and we are going to add one user onto our host as well. Why we are not doing it with the help of root user? Because if you are working onto an organization, nobody will give you the root user access. If your name is Abhinav, they will give you a user created with the name as Abhinav, so that Abhinav is able to do or perform certain tasks. Okay, I won't be given in any of the organization root access. So nobody will give you root access. You need to create a user, and then perform other works, just like we do it in case of AWS, right? AWS also recommends that do not use your root user account machine even for anything and for any work. Create a different user and then perform. So this is why this is just for the sake of other things. We are going to add one user onto your this particular machine. So the command to add user is that add user And let's say the name of your user is when you okay, let's take server user itself. Okay, and now add password to this particular user. I am giving it a password. Again I am giving it a particular password that I gave it before. So I have created a user onto my server machine, and since I've written that perform this for other host machines as well, you need to do this for other host machine as well. Okay, so this user need to be created on your host machine as well. So just type it the commands: add user, server user, add user, password, sorry, add user, password followed by the username. Now the password that I gave previously is saying that something is not matching. So guys, what I did right now, I created the same user onto my server machine, and I also created the same user and in the same fashion with the same password onto my host machine as well. Okay, and now we can try to switch with those user. See, I'm able to switch with that particular user, right? And now onto my host machine, I can also do the same thing like server user to the server user, right? So you can see it over here that now I am logged in as my server user that I created on my host machine and onto my server Ansible server machine as well. So this was the second step that we had to perform, and now I've written that you can switch to this user via command su server user. We have already done that, and now try to run this particular command. Let's see whether with the help with the user that you have created, can you do something? Do you have those necessary privileges to perform something? So just run like yum install httpd. This will just check whether it is allowed or not. See, it is still not allowed to me, that the server user cannot run this particular command. So I think it will not allow me to do something over here as well. So run the same command and check it: yum install httpd. This is Apache server, guys, right? It is also not allowing me. Even if I do it like sudo, see, it still, it will not allow me to do that. Why? Now it is showing you why. Because it is not in the sudoers file. Okay, so now the next step what we are going to do is that first I'll control L. Green is my server, pink is my host machine. Okay, open the file as the root user and switch back to root user in your server machine. So first I'll go to my server machine and I will open VISUDO. Okay, and I'll add this user that I created. Okay, so as I can give it to, I will add it to my sudoers list file so that it can also do or perform some task like a super user is able to do. That is it. Creation of user and adding it onto the particular file, we have all been doing onto our Linux stuff previously before. It is not a new concept that I'm doing. This is very easy. I've created a user in onto both the server, onto both the machine, and now I'm adding it to a sudoer list. If you can google it out also, you'll get the same result, right? So this is not an Ansible kind of very technical stuff. This is very very easy. Literally it's quite easy. Okay, so first do it and then we'll talk about whether it's easy or not. Okay, I'll do control L. Now I have to switch back, exit, and now I have to do that vi sudo visudo followed by the name of the user you created. Okay, so first you do visudo. Okay, hit insert This is vi editor, that is why I'm saying that. I hit insert. Okay, come to a particular place where I'll show you. This is the place, allow root to run any commands anywhere. So your server user that we created was not allowed to run any command anywhere. This is the reason why. What is the importance of this step, you can understand now. Okay, what was the name of our user? Server user. Okay, and after that you need to give a particular space and just copy this particular thing as well. Control C, right click over here, and I think everything is fine. No space issues, right? Perfect. Take escape colon w q. Okay, so now you need to do this on your other host machine as well. Why? Because here also, it's showed that in pink that it is not going to allow me to do something, some stuff kind of thing. I hope you guys are remembering. It's not in the sudo's file. That is why visudo. Oh, sorry, you need to don't do it over here. You need to switch as a root user, because whatever the privileges you can grant something with the help of root user. Okay, so visudo, hit insert, and now again come back to that place where it was mentioned like allow all user kind of things. Write server user, and again copy this part. I'm just giving the access over here, right? I'm not doing any fancy steps. It might look that, what the hell this guy is doing, but there is nothing fancy. Anyone can do it at any point of time. Hit save and exit. Your newly created user will now have sudo privileges. Why? And now just try to do something, whether it got sudo privileges or not. So if you su just change it and yum install httpd, you need to be root user. So just sudo awesome, right? I'm not going to install it. I just wanted to demo you guys that whatever we did it with utmost precision, right? Over here as well, if first I need to get out over here, right? So over here I can also check it. I can switch user onto my from my Ansible server to my server user, and sudo yum install httpd. Awesome. It is working over here as well. I'm not gonna install this server kind of stuff over here right now. I was just trying to show you that I've added it onto my sudoers list. Now try to access the host machine by using the command ssh private IP. Let's see I'm able to ssh or not. What is the private IP? Private IP is this particular IP that gets mentioned over here. So it is 172.31.11.49. I type it, yes, it says that permission denied. So I'm still not able to do the SSH part. Although all both the machines are now configured, but still I think I need to do some more steps in order to access this machine, this green one. Okay, so now come back to the step 3. Now if Ansible server needs to make connection with it host, make these changes and perform these changes on other host as well via root user. So first of all, come to your root user. Here I am already on as a root user, and onto my Ansible server I need to be as a root user as well. Okay, so now what it is asking to me to do, it is saying that open this particular file and make these three changes. So the first change is that this has to be yes, it was commented, make it active, and make active this authentication, and make disable this password authentication no. So these are the three things you need to do. I'll show you quickly and very very fast how to do it. I won't take much time. I know you guys, your time is precious. You guys are doing a lot of work. You guys have to learn a lot. So control W, PERMIT, just search it. What we have to do over here, permit root login, yes, it is uncommented, we have to comment uncommented, right? Okay, so that it becomes active. So root login is yes over here. And now what is the next thing that we need to search? Password authentication. This is the beauty of this nano editor. It's not like vi editor going line by line, and your mind gets totally distracted and you get irritated. This is the reason why I started using nano editor, guys. So the only command to install nano is that yum install nano. That is it. Your life is would be very very easy. So over here I have comment it may not be required, and uncomment this part. Okay, control O, control X. As a root user we did it. Go over here, as a root user you have to do again this particular thing. Okay, copy it, control C, right click, get it over here, control W. First thing was permit, search it. I am onto my host machine. Pink is my host. I hope you guys remember. Okay, and now what we are going to do is that password authentication, PASSWORD. So password authentication is no, is active. I have to make it inactive, and this one should be in the active state. Authentication, yes. Okay, so control O, three things I've already changed. Control X. I am just checking, guys, what I did was saved or not. Yes, fine. And now you have to run this command, service shd restart, SERVICE SSHD RESTARD, onto your host machine, and most importantly your server machine. Service SSHD restart. Now I need to go to my main server via created user. What was my created user? My server user. So su hyphen server user. Okay, and in order to access this machine you should be onto the created user onto this machine as well. Just remember it as a concept. Only then you can access it. Okay, so control L, and now I'm going to SSH this particular machine. Let's see if I can do that or not. Again, SSH 172.31.11.49. It is asking me the password of server user. Okay, so I have accessed this thing. I do ls over here. Do I have anything? No. Do I have anything? No. I am going to create file. Touch Abhinav file. Ls. It got created. It got created over here as well. Bingo. So this was what we wanted, guys. This is what we wanted with utmost precision, that we have been able to do this particular lab without any issues, although n number of things were required to be done, but we have done it in one go, and without making a lot of changes. So guys, whatever now you do, you have taken the SSH of your machine. Okay, and if you create something over here, it will get shown to you over here on your host machine. And if you do something over here, for those who are not much very familiar, like touch host machine file, I am just creating a particular file. I'll do ls. Since it is visible over here, it's gonna be visible over here as well. Okay, so this was all about the lab part. And guys, there is one more very small concept, is that as an Ansible server or main server machine, and you need to run these particular commands. So let's say if you have, for me there is only one host. So every time if I do, let's say if I exit, sorry, if I exit from my server, and again if I, let's say, do run that command, if I try to SSH it, every time it is asking me password. Okay, this 49 may have the password like Abhinav123. Let's say when I created this server user, it may have password like Abhinav123. There would be another server with the different IP may have password Abhinav1234, and the third server may have password Abhinav123456. So if I am the Ansible server user, if I'm managing and if I need to SSH something, if I need to do that, if I need to SSH 20 machines or 50 machines or 60 machines at one time, and if I need to push some configuration, if I need to SSH, then I'll simply die, guys, right? It would really be not be possible for me to remember the password, and in order to SSH it every time, it will be totally a deadlock for me, or even I am human being, I'll tend to get forget. So in order to avoid that, you need to run these particular commands. You generate a keygen, and then you need to that copy that particular file that will get created like your public key onto your Ansible server user, that is your server user, and that the private IP of the host machine. Okay, so if you do these particular steps in extra, then if you at this point of time, if you try to SSH it, then it will simply get connected. You will not be required, to enter your password. It will come just like this. After this command, it will be just like this. So if you just do go ahead and even I can do it, guys, in front of you guys, but I do have some issues with my system. It is getting hanged. I don't know why. I'm tapping something and it's happening something else. So this is the reason I won't be able to demo you, but I'll make a demo video for this as well. This is a very very small things. You guys can also do it. It will take only 30 seconds of your time, not more than 30 seconds. Okay, so guys, this is the reason why I am avoiding to go ahead. I'm really 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 sorry for this thing. Okay, so guys, this was all about our this particular lecture. I know it has taken a little bit of time, but I really apologize if a lot of time got wasted onto that. But now I hope you guys would be able to make your Ansible architecture, and you would be going ahead, and you would be going to create your one Ansible server machine, and you can try this with 4 5 different EC2 Linux machines. Go and SSH them and try to have an access of them. Rest things will follow. I'll demo the entire thing related to Ansible onto my upcoming lectures, but this is what we discussed previously. So that was the demo lab uh, for our previous discussion. So guys, I hope you have liked the lectures, and please let me know if you want some any other or extra pieces of information onto my comment section, so that I can come and post, because I really do not know what all or what extra information you guys are wanting from me or from anyone else at this particular point of time. So this was all about the Ansible architecture. I have done it with the help of my server green and my host machine pink. You can try it with n number of machines. You can create 4 to 5 machines, and you can just connect your server with your host machine. Okay, so guys, thank you for your time and thank you for your patience. Thanks a lot, and please let me know if I need to improvise on any other aspect of my channel. Okay, thank you, thanks a lot.